Eric Cashco. What's up? You already know what it is. We got a lot to talk about, dog. I don't even want to talk. We ain't even talking about the card. We got to just talk about everything going on with John Jones because the fans, MMA fans are the worst. So I expect to see the BS from the fans. But I even see guys like Luke Thomas and everybody saying this, dog. That like, how long have I been saying half these reporters are like groupies too, man?
They are. I mean, dude, everybody's part of the Hate John Jones Club.
Hey, we're gonna start with Miocic or Aspinall. Him.
We should start with the fight that's coming up.
Let's start with the fight, then we're gonna get into it. So, JBJ, Miocic, who you got winning?
You can't beat you can't beat one of the greatest fighters of all time. I would say John Jones 100% is going to win this fight.
I would say 99%. I'm giving that 1% that exists of a puncher's chance.
Because of
Like,
that.
I hate how cliche it sounds, but to me, sometimes it exists because when I look, if I go skill set for skill set, like striking, wrestling, jujitsu, let's just put it into three categories, and all three favor John, then at that point, I have to just say the other person has a puncher's chance. There's an area he has a higher skill set than Jones.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is, dog.
Yep. 100%.
I respect Stipe. You know what I mean? And a lot of the time he didn't even look like this greatly skilled fighter to me to begin with. He just had what worked and he was tough and he was conditioned and a little more athletic than the average heavyweight, and he could wrestle, which most heavyweights can't. You know what I mean? Heavyweight is one of the easiest things to win out of the divisions. They the least scale.
You just gotta got that power. You need to have. And like, I bet ring rust is a real thing, right? Like we keep talking about it. My man's almost he's like 40 something, right?
Yeah.
Damn near 50. Pushing 50 almost. If he comes back,
he looks in shape.
He does look great.
Here's what people are neglecting too. If you remember Jones and Ciryl Gane, Jones had the pot belly when he first went up to heavyweight. Now he's not like that. Now he's ripped. So that was the experiment heavyweight. This is the finished product heavyweight. He's had even more time to work his body into that form. It's even better than before. You can look at it aesthetically, so he's going to transfer over to performance.
Exactly.
I don't even know if there's much to talk about that fight.
There really isn't. Like, there's a lot of hype surrounding it, and Jones is he's trying so hard to get this like fight hyped up. But in reality, if we're really looking at it from like a promotional standpoint, this is like the setup for what's eventually going to happen, which is Tom Aspinall, John Jones.
Let's go into that because I am flabbergasted by the stupidity, the ignorance, and let me tell you, the most disrespected fighter of all time to me. I have JBJ. Nobody even knows what pound for pound means. You know what I mean? Like pound for pound, it came from boxing. It's supposed to say, if you look at the fighter's skill set, you make an imaginary world and put that skill set in every division, how well would it do? If you do that, the only people you can put in that pound for pound list is Demetrius Johnson and John Jones. They are the quintessential mixed martial artists, dog. GSP was great, but even he was more finite than those two in his skill set. It's only those two. And if you look at the greater resume of the two, is John Jones. just because one, not because DJ wasn't as good as he is just that
The caliber of
the
opponents.
caliber of opponent. So I think pound for pound is damn near a draw. GOAT, there is no, there's no argument is John Jones. You can't put we destroying everything this time, D. How they gonna put Habib, D, as the GOAT?
They can't. Like for Habib, I would say damn near 75% of his record are no names,
Uh-huh.
with half of them being back when he was in Russia, when he
The,
fight those cards.
that's part of it. Let me give you another part. What wrestler he fight? That's
Nobody.
that's a question. You want to
No.
know why? Here's why that's a trick question. Gaethje's a wrestler, but is he a wrestler?
No.
Feel me? What wrestler he fight? Like a dude who in there wrestles like a Gregor Giuseppe or somebody like that, or what's the Polish guy?
Gamrot?
Gamrot or a Gamrot. Somebody who really doing that wrestling. The only person you can name in the UFC that he fought that uses wrestling to win fights is Gleason Tabao, who everybody that watched that fight, including myself, Phil Habib lost. You can, and then he retired early.
And
You
that
can't
was early
you
on.
can't put him in that. If you
Real
who else they
early on.
say is the GOAT? Islam. How they gonna put Islam in there?
Islam. I mean, are we talking about GOAT or pound for pound?
We're talking about GOAT.
GOAT? Honestly, I could probably put Islam above Khabib just based on the people he's fought. Although Islam has fought Gaethje, past his, well, not past his prime, but like over the peak.
Wait, when did Islam fight Gaethje?
I thought he fought Gaethje
He
for
didn't fight Gaethje. Habib fought Gaethje.
not even after. Oh, DP.
He fought DP and had a way harder time than Habib. I
And
don't count
Charles
the vote
Oliveira.
shit. I don't count the vote shit. That's a low dude. It looked cool, but it's a low dude. And I thought he lost the first fight.
Mm-hmm.
Second fight, don't get me wrong, brilliant. He made adjustments, made it look easy. First fight he lost. Bobby Green, no ground game. Dan Hooker, no ground game. Like when I look at things, here's how it is. When I'm saying who's the GOAT and who's the pound for pound, I'm not. You got to look at both sides. You have to look at the skill set of the competitor and the skill set of the other competitor. You can't look at one. You can't have a guy like Habib and Islam who has this great wrestling, put them all against strikers, and fucking try to convince me that they're the GOAT and the best pound for pound. If people want to accuse Floyd Mayweather of picking the right fights at the right time, don't you have to apply that to this?
Yep.
Right? Don't
I,
you have to say, oh, they look so well because they ain't fought a person who could go against their wrestling? And DP, look how well he did against the wrestling not being a wrestler. So imagine if they fought a wrestler that had better striking. Would they look the same? That's the kind of stuff I think about when I'm picking my GOAT.
mm,
You know, did you expect it to go any other way? Like when Habib was fighting McGregor and DP and Gaethje, it went how I expected it to go. If something is going how I expect it to go, it's not telling me much.
yep.
You feel me? And John Jones, people were taking his personal life, his personal outside choices, and applying that and holding it against him, who he is as the fighter. You can't do that. And even reporters are being unprofessional in doing it. He is the best to ever do it unquestionably, dog. Like, look at this. I see people talking about he's scared of Tom Aspinall, which is crazy. So let me break something down for you. Tommy beat Jake Collier. No one gives a fuck about, right? He beat Andre Arlovsky past his prime. He beat Spivak. No one is gonna ever say this dude was the shit. He beat Volkov. Volkov's cool, but he wrestled him. You feel me? Volkov is another one of those guys. You already know his ground game and his wrestling ain't nothing. So he just used a smart game plan. He beat Marcin Tybura. Uh, wow. He beat Sergey Pavlich. Here's the thing. When I'm listening to Dana White and he make more sense than reporters to me, you know how far off the mark you are. And John Jones. When I listen to Dana and John, they speak the facts. When I listen to the fans and reporters, they don't say anything. And John Jones said a second ago, you guys were saying Pavlich was the dude. And look at how he's losing now. A second, when I was fighting Gon, you guys said he was the dude. And look how I beat him. How many times have you guys said somebody's the dude and they're here today and going tomorrow? That's a fact.
Yep.
Fact. And he beat Pavlich, cool. But look at the direction of his career. And then he beat Curtis Blades, probably the best one on the record. But
that one was controversial.
dude, but here's the thing, even if you give it to him, it ain't like dude, Curtis Blades, you really think that he got the boxing to stand with Aspinall? He's like the wrestler that should just wrestle but tries to box. So that's what you have in his record. Dog, look at this right here. Look at this. This is as a child, dog. He beat Andre Guzmão. Now, most people might not care about him. They ain't an old head like me, but that dude was well known in Brazil and in the fighting world at the time. And was a capoeira dude at a high level and a black belt from a very good team. Dominated him. He beat my good friend, R.I.P. Stephen Bonner. When Stephen Bonner, here's the thing. They say, oh, he ain't fought nobody like Tommy. Let's go through it. Guzmão a black belt. Tommy's not. Guzmão experienced. Tommy not. Let's go to Stephen Bonner. More experienced than Tommy. He was a Golden Gloves boxer. So you can't say John Jones ain't fought a boxer before and a black belt, which Tommy not. Beat him. Go Jake O'Brien. Best guy in the world? No. But he was a wrestler at a higher level than Tommy. Destroyed him. Matt Hamill, a stud and a way better wrestler than Tommy. Lost that while dominating them. Brandon Vera, one of the most talented guys to ever do it. Muay Thai phenom and a black belt. Tommy ain't got Muay Thai and in a black belt. Dominated him. Vladimir Matyshenko, one of the toughest guys to do it and a very high, almost Olympic level wrestler, which Tommy isn't. Dominated him. Ryan Bader, a champion in other promotions, high level wrestler, which Tommy isn't. Dominated him. Shogun Ruha, a little bit like downhill at the time, but still experienced. Black belt, Muay Thai phenom. Dominated him. Quentin Jackson. That's all we got to say. Probably the most experienced on the list. Tough as hell. Good wrestler. Good boxer. Dominated him. Lyoto Machida, a fucking mystery and karate guy in a black belt. Dominated him. Rashad Evans, who could box, high level wrestler. Dominated him. Vitor Belfort, boxer black belt. Dominated him. Chael Sonnen, boxer wrestler. Dominated him. Gustafsson, very good striker. Very good counter wrestler.
One of the greatest fights of all time.
Dude, beat him. Glover Teixeira, boxer, wrestler, black belt. Beat him. Cormier, one of the best to ever do it, a boxer, wrestler. Dominated him. We got Dan Henderson, that grappling match he did with him, an Olympic wrestler, destroyed him. Anthony Smith, we ain't even gonna count that. Thiago Santos, very good Muay Thai guy, black belt. Dominated. Dominic Reyes, a wrestler. People don't know he wrestled. And a good striker. Beat him. Cyril Gane, who was the hype right before Tommy. And a very good striker. Dominated him. What does Tommy have that I ain't named? John Jones fought people with more experience. He fought people who have been tested more. We don't even know how tough Tommy is. If he could take a shot or nothing, he fought better wrestlers. He fought other people who boxed and people with Muay Thai and everything. On the other end, Tommy ain't fought nobody that Jones wouldn't have done the same thing to. How they gonna say he's scared of this man, dog? Tell me. How they gonna even play that narrative?
How can they even like to put them both in the same breath is just absurd to me. Basically, John Jones has cleared out the entire field, leaving nothing really to really hold up in the heavyweight division.
Dude, they saying like Tommy is the best like heavyweight ever. Dog, all he did was football tackle Volkov. That he didn't wrestle. He's using his athleticism to his advantage, which it's a fight. Go right ahead. But let's
Yeah,
not act like this motherfucker is NCAA, D1, D2, D3. Dude, if he came over here to the States and wrestled some of the heavyweights that are just in the colleges, he would get dominated in wrestling. He's not a wrestler. People are tell me that they really believe John Jones can't take that guy down. Are you fucking kidding me? If he got him down, that's the end of the fight. And what boxing have you seen from Tommy? I come from a boxing background. All I see is the 1-2.
that's all he's got.
That's what he does.
That's all
What
he's got. Plus
what
like
is
a
he?
right, but
It's the 1-2.
that's everybody.
He 1-2 to everybody, dog.
Crazy.
They act like he threw some Marvin Hagler combinations. Come on, man. I'm over it. They're incomparable. They're incomparable, dog. It makes it's so absurd to think that he's been fighting these dudes since he was what 20,
19.
dog, and you think that he became some grown man, more mature, more skilled, stronger, and then he's like, oh, this is the time to be scared of someone. Come, come on, come on. He was probably more scared at 19.
Yeah.
Dude, and it ain't like he ain't been honest about being nervous. He talked about many interviews how he was scared when he was going to fight Shogun. He talked about many times when he was scared when he was going to fight Rampage. He said that was the most scared he was.
And that was like the true golden age of being a heavyweight in the
Dude,
US.
and let's not act like light heavyweight technically isn't far above the skill set of heavyweights. So Tommy ain't even fighting people as nearly as skilled as the people that Bones fought.
Yep.
The lighter you get, it starts getting more technical. Middleweight is weird. Middleweight is the closest to fighting like heavyweights where you see like less skill. It's like weird. Like 25, 35, 45, 55, 70, there's a ton of skill. 85 is 205, there's a ton of skill. And then heavyweight, there's almost none. If you can wrestle at heavyweight, you will be a world champion. That's all you need.
Which John Jones can.
Nothing else. That's how low the skill set there. If you put a heavyweight on their back, they done. Or if you have jujitsu like Fabricio were doing, why do you think he did so well? He was just a heavyweight with jujitsu.
Yep.
You can't even compare. Heavyweight is the easiest division to win the belt in. Dog, it's this is crazy, dog. I saw Luke Thomas right on the Instagram post. If this isn't ducking this guy, who is? I saw Ariel Hawani, even though he a asshole anyways, make a video mocking John Jones. Dude, Jose just wrote Kane would have smoked Tom. Hell yeah.
100% Kane would have smoked him.
Hell yeah.
The entire, like, half the guys on the list we just named out from John Jones's record would probably wipe the floor with Tom Aspinall.
Dude, let's be real here. Do you really think, let's go old school. Do anybody really think that Tom would beat OG Josh Barnett, OG Pedro Hizzo, OG Randy Couture at heavyweight, OG Antonio Franco or Antonio Rodrigo Minotauro Nogueira. Dog,
Oh,
if you took the heavyweights of old, they were way better.
we're talking
Igor
about
Vovchanchyn,
fighters.
if you name any, that's when heavyweights was hitters, dog. You could put Tommy with any of them and say who will win. I wouldn't pick Tom versus none of those guys. If
No,
you say would John Jones beat those guys, probably. You know what I mean? He would find a way. He
yeah.
got enough tools. Jose said Brock was better than Tom. Dude, Brock Lesnar would have wrestled the shit out of Tom Aspinall.
He would have ripped him apart. That Roy.
Nothing stopped Brock Lesnar except for Brock Lesnar. Let's be real. When Kane beat Brock,
That
Brock
was
was already dying from the stomach fucking virus, dog.
yep.
Brock beat Brock. If Brock was healthy, I didn't see nobody beating that dude.
Now going back to John Jones, if we're making the same argument about like who he's fought and who he's beaten, where would you put Francis Ngannou in that?
And here's the thing, Francis, I love Francis, my fellow African right there, but let's be real. Francis, he uses wrestling the same way Tom does. They both can't wrestle. Francis power wrestles because he's so much bigger and stronger. Tom is athletic, so he just bull. Think about it. What did he say he was going to do by his own admission if he fought Piera? I'm
I'm
just going
just gonna
to.
take him.
That's his wrestling. That's his wrestling. So you got Tom Aspinall, the 1-2 puncher who's athletic, and you got Ngannou who got a bit more punches and a power hitter. They both don't got no real jujitsu, and they both everybody's saying like Tommy's a black belt, blah blah. Let me tell you, dog, we we from the Gracie lineage over here. I know what jujitsu look like.
That ain't it.
He
Ain't
he
dog.
will probably be a blue belt at our gym, and that's being nice, dog. A new blue belt. That ain't no jujitsu. And I look at him and Francis the same way. They just athletic strikers. So I think an athletic striker can knock out a lot of people at heavyweight and only take one shot. But the skill set, which I look at, even Ngannou ain't nowhere near there. If Jones got Ngannou or Aspinall on the ground, the fight's over, dog.
No one is touching the John Jones.
When he fought Dominic Reyes, they were hyping Dominic Reyes as the next thing. When he fought Cyril Gane, they were hyping Cyril Gane as the next thing. Let's not get this.
Yeah, he took them all out.
Before Pavlovich got beat by Aspinall, they were hyping him as the next thing. Now he's on what, a 2-fight losing streak or something?
Yep.
Like, come on, man. And Dom Rogan reported for ESPN. They need people that's non-biased, put the fan shit aside, and get a facts, dog. They hiring these goofies. It's goofiness out here. I I can't even talk about it no more. I don't even want to talk about it no more, dude. I don't even
Either
want to.
way, fights tomorrow.
Let's see. Let's see this. Let's go down the card to see if we want to talk about anything. I want to know why all these bouts are canceled. I'm seeing David Onama versus Lucas Almeida would have been cool. That got canceled. Mauricio Rufy, Charlie Campbell would have been cool. That
Anthony Smith.
canceled. Carlo Pratt, my boy from Thailand. I'm happy you're doing well. Versus Randy Brown would have been cool. That got canceled. Krylov versus some crazy Azamat guy. I don't know anybody with that kind of name. Is crazy. That got canceled. What we gonna talk about? Is there anything that I am interested in?
They had Anthony Smith against Dom Reyes, and that one got canceled.
Is there anything I am super interested in?
Chris Weidman.
What we talking about? We can't really talk about much on this card. We can talk about Bo Nickel and Paul Craig. How you think that? How you think that's going?
So it's going to be
Hold on. Somebody said hoping the best for Stipe, Teddy Schneider music. Yeah, you better put all that hope into that Stipe thing, Teddy, because we got Boney Jonies over here. But Bo Nickel, Paul Craig. Paul Craig, he a threat on the ground.
Yeah, so it's going to be jujitsu versus wrestling there.
I don't think so, dog. I think it's gonna be striking versus jujitsu, and I think Paul Craig gonna beat up on the feet. Because I think Bo Nickel better on the feet than Paul Craig, and he can't take Bo Nickel down.
That's true. Paul Craig was getting beat the fuck up in that one fight before he threw that Hail Mary triangle that win.
Versus Ankalev.
Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Paul Craig, he the angriest, meanest looking dude that can't throw a punch for shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I think Bo Nickel gonna wrestle in reverse.
So, yeah, we got Bo for this one. And then co-main is
Oh, Teddy
Dubron.
Snyder said something. He said, "You can see the messages too, D."
Yeah.
All right, we'll do better. This is real. I think he'll do. I think he'll do better too.
He'll last a little longer than
Yeah,
Cyril.
do better.
Cyril not ready for whatever the hell John Jones had for him.
What round you got it?
John Jones Stipe,
I think he's taking him out in 2 or 3.
I'd say 3. I think
Yeah,
it lasts till 3.
I'm about 3-2. I think he's gonna spend 1 getting the data. 2, the damage is gonna start getting done, and 3 gonna finish him.
3 is gonna be the takedown and then finish.
I can see it in 2 though too. If he collects enough data in 1, I can see it in 2.
Yeah.
But 3 the latest, I think. What you said, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler,
Yep.
who you got?
Dude, man. Dude, Bronx got it done the first time. I think I'm gonna stick with Oliveira this time around too.
I'm sticking with it at 2. 1, you already know I can't do Michael Chandler.
This man's a Michael Chandler.
But I got to be an analyst with it. After he tried to start that shit with me in front of Glover Teixeira, and I was already like, I don't even feeling this dude. Then when they put him on Black History Month, I
Ridiculous.
got over it, dog. But but all that aside, skill set for skill set, I look at Chandler now, and people are like, "Oh, he's so in shape," blah blah blah. I actually don't like the way he looked now. He looked skinny.
He a box.
He looks skinny. He used to be
Box.
like a box shape. Remember, like now he just like he looked like a dude. You ever see the bikers that just like marathon bike hell long? They get that like skinny, ripped frame.
Oh, bro, looking like an Iron Man.
Yeah, that's what he looked like, dog. He looked like he just biked hella miles and just thinned in. I like for fighting, I like the box frame, like the Dan Henderson, like, what's up, homie? Like now he looks skinny and shit like that. And he's like, oh, I think he's kind of screwed on 2 sides because
He waited long.
people say that Michael Chandler going crazy is what gets him beat, but I also think that's what got him to win fights. Because when you look at his skill set, when he tries to play it technically, he's usually on the losing end, technique for technique. So I think like rather than be technical, like people like, oh, he needs to be technical and think things through. I think he's a person that got to kind of be in the middle where he just fights you, but don't go insane and get like see red. Because I think when he tries to go for technique, people, even when you look when he fought Britt Primus and them in Bellator, when he fought Patricio Pitbull, or it never went well. He just don't be on the good end of exchanges when it come like real boxing for boxing or striking for striking stuff. He's not at that level. He's kind of like the puncher. You know what I mean?
We
Like
saw
in
that.
the boxer.
Saw that when he got matched up with literally a like for like in Justin Gaethje. Outstruck, out hit. He got finished.
Mm-hmm. Dude, and when he was doing them exchanges with Poirier, they started going downhill.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he's talking about, oh, I'm smarter, I'm gonna play it technical and blah blah blah. The higher skill set is Charles. I think that he would do worse versus Charles playing it technical than he would
If
just
he
roughing him up.
Mr. Roid Rage.
And I think the skinny version of himself could just get choked easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then this thing where he's like, I'm about to beat him and then fight for the belt. I don't know what it is with Holly Holmes, the Uriah Favors, and the Michael Chandlers of the world besides stay white skin that they every time they win a fight, they automatically get fights. And here's the thing that kills me, D. Everybody talking this stuff about like, Aspinall is to go back to this and all this stuff and how wrong it is of this happening and blah 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 and how he's owed this and this. Why didn't I hear this when McGregor fought nobody and got the title shot versus Eddie Alvarez? Why didn't I hear this when Volkanovski fought nobody and got the title shot versus Islam? Because if you want to just say, oh, it's a sport and you want to play that narrative, then okay. What you did in the last division don't mean you come up and get an automatic title shot. You got to beat the number one contender at least, then you get it.
You gotta earn it.
Why didn't I hear nothing when Michael Chandler beat Dan Hooker, who was already coming off of a loss, and got a title shot off that win? Come on, these people pick and choose when they want to complain. Who did like? First of all, what is an interim belt? That ain't in no sport but UFC, huh? Boxing
I,
don't got no interim belts, do they?
I think in boxing, yeah, there's interim, and then they'll have unification bouts. But like very rare instances, because then there's also times where they just tell them to vacate because they don't
Yeah,
want to.
most of the time I didn't even know they had interim belts. Most of the time I see like when they ain't defending the thing, they be like vacate. They don't
Yep.
be interim belt. Like if the champ is hurt in boxing, they're just the champ until they heal up. But if it's like a super long time, they gotta vacate. Because here's the thing, interim, what does that mean? Like in the meantime or in between or something? Like it's some made up shit. Tommy being an interim champ don't mean automatically like Jones has to fight him. He's at the point of his career where if he say he wants a super fight versus somebody, he's guess what? Here's the double standard again. Poirier says it all the time. Oh, I just want the big fights. Nobody says anything. Connor says it. Nobody says anything. Chandler ain't earned shit in the UFC yet, and he says he just wants the money fights. No one says anything. But the best to ever do it says, hey, this is a brand new guy. I don't get nothing from beating him. I beat the hims before, which is the fact. I beat the guys y'all said the next guy before. I want the money. And now everybody says, oh, this the best to ever do it.
Ducking.
He's ducking. Come on, dog.
Double standards, man. Double
Come
standards.
on.
Ridiculous.
But I don't know. Everything else on the card, it just is what it is. I'm looking at the top three fights.
Those are the only ones that really stand out for this one, anyways.
That is, but that's all we got to talk about this time. We kept it short. We kept it sweet, people. Give them where they can contact you at on social media.
It's good. On IG at sand.derek.
Hey, make sure y'all get at them. Go follow them. You know what I mean? We up next. Fallen Angel 510 on IG and Goon Squad Inmate on IG. If you up in California, NorCal, up in the 209, come by. We the best team over there. We got it popping. You know what I mean? Kickboxing, boxers, jiu-jitsu players, MMA. We got it all.
Best in the valley, boys.
We got it all. Know what I mean? Gracie fighter. Shout out Half Caesar Grace. We out here. That's it, guys. You already know, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, patreon.com/Project One for All, where we help homeless animals, homeless people. And with Sansom Dental in San Francisco, we give discounts to the community. We there for them, and we treat homeless people for free. You're going to help give back to all that. And I don't know what this Niv guy said, but we'll be back soon. I got to get D on it because we got to discuss that December card and all that. But we are out.